Before sharing my speech, I will show my roadmap. Part 3, negative observation. Solvency sector, disadvantage. Then, advantage. If time allow observation in this order. I will add a flow. Negative observation. Solvency checker, disadvantage, advantage, affirmative observation in this order. Are you ready? I will start. Negative observation. Compulsory reporting is making not to vote as illegal things as state impose fine. From here, we will show requirement for such enforcement. Is a point violation. 1. Under the status quo, Japan adopts voluntary voting system. This is citizens' rights not to go voting are respected as human rights. However, 2. After a plan, voting will be compulsory and 2 types of violation happen to citizens. First type, physical restriction. Simply, their freedom to do other things will be deprived. And then second type, depriving mental freedom. Not to vote is also opinion. Deprive such choice should not be allowed. Therefore, 3. Affirmative must show the clear problem in status quo and the reason why it's justified these violations. That's because the citizens are in the ultimate power and choose politicians who serve for them. As long as such rights never harms others, freedom should be protected. 4. Penalize people's action needs clear justification. Why other way is not taken? I will show some example. 5. Maybe they show exception or adjustment for criminal or something. But why this can objectively apply for all people? Without proof, affirmative stance just abuse power by the government because they arbitrarily adopt for specific target. Therefore, after a plan, government by the law will be deprived. Then go to visa points. Negative approach. 1. Proper approach of government must be firstly to encourage the voluntary will of the citizens to go voting, not to deprive the citizens' will. Therefore, 2. I show example of some kind of plan. For example, education, increasing polling station, or introducing online voting. Such kind of policy as a firstly to encourage. That's because 3. We can avoid such kind of issue, such kind of possibility itself is remaining. Then go to solvency checker. 1. Affirmative want to achieve policy for general, which means people's desirable policy. However, 2. Check the process carefully. Assumption is that if people can pursue their own benefit, it can be achieved. However, 3. When we consider 2 characteristics border, that's impossible. First one is capability. People's ability to make rational decisions for the nation is limited, even if they think they are rational. I show some example. In the case of job hunting, you try to choose the company which suits you. However, because the student has never worked in a company before, they don't know the foundation to base their decision on. Then they choose the company based on irrational reasons, such as this company is popular. Similarly, voters do not recognize what situation is occurring in political black box. Then, second reason. Second one is different value to choose candidates. Of course, people's opinion is important. However, if they choose people because of popularity or just for the cute face, this is not for desirable policy line. Because they don't choose the policy, but just for like politician. In this sense, we can't gather opinion on policy because their goal is to achieve that policy for people. This is just gathering votes from various aspects. Therefore, 4. 1. The citizens fail to rationally pursue their benefit, and 2. Government fails to approach the people's benefit, as each person is voting for different aspects. Therefore, 5. Conclusion. Even in after plan, policy market can never find general perspective and no solvency. Then go to disadvantage. On this flow, we show first scenario that reflecting opinion becomes difficult. 1. As long as government resources are limited, we must consider how to provide benefit for nation. That because each people needs different amount of support because situation is different from each. Therefore, 2. There is no necessity to provide benefit for each equally. It rather causes ineffective support by the government. 3. Election is one of the opportunities to hear true opinion of nation directly. If nation has opinion, they try to show intention throughout their votes. 4. In such situation, people who feel necessity of some kind of support go to election because they can vote for politicians who show beneficial policy for them. 5. On the other hand, people who don't go to election don't have strong intention compared to those who go to election. Because if they feel necessity for some kind of policy, they will go to election to reflect their opinion. Therefore, 6. People who go to election voluntarily need support compared to those who don't go to election. In this sense, we can conclude current voluntary voting system can function as a filter to distinguish policy which is really needed. 7. After a plan, current voting system is abolished. It means we can't know what kind of policy is really needed. As a result, resource is used into policy which has no urgency. 8. For example, if the nuclear power industry want to pursue the policy for them, they actually voting. However, if the people who have no interest in politics, and thus they will just vote for additional support, like the additional education or something. Such kind of more core support will be declined. Then go to advantage. As for the advantage is a point third card. Maybe they say like people don't go to vote. Because their life. Currently 56% of voting rate is low or something. However, to check the card carefully. Maybe their evidence says like other kind of country never introduced compulsory voting. For example, in the Sweden case, or like the South Korea, Germany, France, United Kingdom or something. This kind of country never introduced compulsory voting, but the voting rate is high. Therefore, we have to consider why we should only focus on the compulsory voting. On the other hand, look at the CISA point second card. Maybe they say compulsory voting increased 90% or something. However, they never explain the process or like the mechanism to increase the voting rate. This is from the Australia, and this is not from the current analysis, like the 1929 or something. Therefore, why we can apply and why we can say after a plan such kind of voting rate will be increased is story and now. Therefore, we should consider various kind of methods, including the increasing like education or something. That's all. Thank you.
Examination time for the part. Okay.
Yes.
Firstly, negative observation.
Yes.
I want the confirmation from you showed that two requirements to you showed two violation.
Yes.
The first violation is physical restriction. The second one is mental restriction. Okay. Then, second one, mental restriction. You said the abstention is one of the opinions.
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask about the maybe fifth one. If we show the if we set the exception,
Yeah.
objectivity or something.
Yes.
Sorry, please summarize.
Just remember your social studies in elementary school. Like the government is governed based on the law, right? However, after a plan, if we arbitrarily choose the punishment or arbitrarily adjust the punishment, this is just like the government by the people, which means that arbitrarily they can choose who will decide the policy and who should be punished or something. This situation is like,
why this is bad?
I mean, this is just like the governmental violation of people's rights.
So, to reflect the people's value, this is the violation, the irrational way of government.
Sorry, what do you mean?
Then go to solvency check.
Yes.
Solvency check maybe third one. I want to confirm your solvency check the third one.
Yes.
Initially, the voters' decision is affected by the popularity or the criteria or
I mean, like the decision-making criteria is different. In such situation, we can't choose the policy which is needed by the government. By the people.
this is the first capability argumentation.
This is second argument.
Second
The first argument is like the capability.
Okay, so the decisions on policy is important.
If your solvency is to achieve the policy for generals, we have to.
Okay,
Yes.
citizens have to consider.
Yeah, we have to gather
benefits
an
of
opinion.
population.
Like that.
But other citizens don't think so. So don't decision for the whole nation benefit.
I mean, if the people pursue different value, like not like the policy's desirability,
Okay.
they will, yeah.
Okay, then this is of disadvantage. The disadvantage scenario now voluntary voting can work as a filter or something.
Yes.
Then after plan, what kind of policy is needed for them?
Yes.
Each nation is unknown, will be unknown.
Urgent policy will not be taken because urgent policy is also regarded as an additional one.
Another is H card, the NPP industry or something. This example is what you want to
If the MPP industry don't want to like stop subsidy or something, they actually vote that. If your logic, like such kind of organization is existing, such kind of people is just voting for, yeah, right.